Another Brick fan with a BrickHeadz review. This is Knuckles and Shadow from Sonic the Hedgehog. This is set 40672. It was released in February 2024. It has 298 pieces and cost about $20 when it was released. So this is the third set of BrickHeadz based on Sonic the Hedgehog. There are also many other sets for Sonic the Hedgehog theme as well. These, like their other two predecessors with Tails and Sonic, have some uniqueness to them in the sense that they have these different colored eyes. So we get purple eyes for Knuckles and red eyes for Shadow. Like our other characters, they have the kind of the same mouth and nose look here, or cheeks and nose look. And I really like the way they've kind of formed and made the colors for these characters. Now, these two are the enemies or the bad guys. At least Knuckles was in the beginning. I think he did befriend Sonic at some point. I don't really know a lot of the backstory behind Shadow, but I do know that these guys were, at least at some point, the bad guys in the series. Let's go ahead and get these two built and take a look at the finished BrickHeadz. Here are the finished BrickHeadz. Of course, Shadow here in the black and red, and then Knuckles in the pretty much all red. He does have the purple eyes and a little bit of coloring there on his feet or sneakers. They seems like they all wear sneakers. Let's take a look at Shadow first. Shadow's done nicely with a lot of this behind, how we have some bricks over the top here to create this sloping here of his forehead. The sloping here on his face with the black half, tiles there. The printed piece on top here matches up really nicely with the red slopes up here. He has pretty much the same ears as we saw with Sonic. The red eyes are great. And then he's once again using another one of these half or diamond style plates to create that chest piece, and then the white and red shoes underneath. Like Sonic, his head is all sloped towards the back here with kind of the alternating red and black striping, which I thought turned out really nicely. Kind of like Sonic, he has another peak here in the back. Sonic had more sloping kind of into the middle, but I still think it's a similar look, of course. And both sides seem to be about the same with the alternating red and black, which turned out quite nicely. White hands here for the BrickHead as well. So overall, a very nice looking BrickHead with lots of good shaping done to finish off the figure and give him the character. Next up we have Knuckles. Now Knuckles I think he was fast, just like all the others, but he seemed to have a lot of strength, was kind of his big superpower, as I recall. Like Shadow, he has these half tiles here done to create that angling there with the white in the background. The nice purple eyes in this case. Kind of the same cheeks and nose here that we've seen on the other Sonic characters. They use bricks here to create this kind of white line or white shaping here around his torso. Now, Knuckles has kind of hair that goes down this way, or I don't know if they're feathers, fur. His fur, I guess, is going down here. What I did think was great was the use of these pyramid pieces to create those big wrist Like the gloves that he wore had these big, protrusions on them. I think they were kind of diamond shaped or pyramid shaped on that. So I thought that was a really good use of those pieces. You remember on Shadow, the sloping of all of this was sloped towards the back, whereas with Knuckles, all of his fur is kind of sloped downward. He does have a tail. So he and Tails are the only two that actually have tails in the BrickHead form anyway. And then once again, sloping kind of comes sloped from the top all the way down to the bottom. Once again, the hands have these big pyramid pieces on the wrists. The shoes here are done with the alternating red and a little bit of orange to give him a little bit more color. But like I said, mostly red with some white elements and just a little bit of other pops of color here with Knuckles. Overall, a nice 2-pack. I think putting the, quote, enemies or less friendly Sonic characters in a single pack was a good idea. It's kind of nice to get a couple more characters from this world. I haven't collected many of the other Sonic-themed sets just because you can only collect so many themes of Lego, as you probably have all run into. As far as value goes, I think 300 pieces for $20 is really good, staying still on the $10 per BrickHead price. So for full-size BrickHeads, they've been pretty much $10 the entire time BrickHeads have been available. So that's really good. That Lego is staying consistent with that. So some nice additions to the BrickHeads and certainly to the Sonic collection. And I think if you enjoy BrickHeads, or certainly if you like the video games or the movies, then these are great characters to get as well. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this BrickHead set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to see more of my content. I've left a link to my BrickHead review playlist up here on the screen.